Today's review, by request of Schmoomin, is Transformers Age of the Primes, Micronus Prime. That's Micronus, guys. He fell over. Micronus Prime. Zoom in, you can't even see him. Micronus Prime. There he is. Look at that, Micronus Prime. Accessories! So Micronus is kind of an odd figure because if you want Micronus Prime, you get Micronus Prime as this tiny figure that could have probably been released as a core class, but because they discontinued core class, they released him as a deluxe. So to make up for that, they gave him some accessories. First, you get his ancient artifact that I just dropped, the Chimera Stone, which I believe gives him telekinetic powers. You can plug it onto the back of his body. He can also hold it, it's just 5mm. And then he also includes the Apex Armor, which is a suit of armor to make him stronger. The Chimera Stone can plug into the chest here. And he can telekinetically control the suit. He can also fit in the suit, which I'll show off in a little bit. But we're going to focus mainly on the base Micronus, and then we'll focus on the suit once we're done with the base Micronus. Articulation! So, base Micronus's articulation is pretty decent for being so tiny. We'll do size comparisons before transformation of him, the suit, and some of the other primes. He's very small. He's smaller than most core classes. Actually, I can grab a core real quick. Here's Bumblebee Movie Starscream. Here's core class Micronus. Or not core class, deluxe Micronus. He's like half the size of a core. They weigh about the same, but they do not feel the same, I guess. Did you see me when I did that? Yeah, I'll crop the video maybe. But Micronus's articulation is pretty simple. His head's on a ball joint, so you can rotate his head all the way around. And he can look up a little bit, which is good. He should not be able to look down because he's already small as character. Real quick note, he is made of see-through plastic. I'm not too worried about it. He did come cracked out of the box and stressed out of the box. But the stress marks have not gotten worse since then. And I've played with this figure a fair amount. Not roughly, just posing him and stuff because he's fun. And he's not stressed anymore. So I'm pretty confident he's not going to break. But just a fair warning, he could break. His shoulders are on a ball joint, so they can go out that far and rotate all the way around. He's got a bicep rotation and elbow bend. You can see some of the stress there, but it's not bad. He has no waist, but legs can kick forward. They can kick back. They can kick out. There's a thigh rotation. Full bend at the leg, and you can kind of see the stress on the knee sockets. But once again, they've been like that since I got him out of the box, and I've had this figure for a month now. So I'm pretty confident he's not going to get any worse. But that's his articulation. But with that circle in mind, we can take our Apex Armor here. We can open the chest up. We can put Micronus in the chest. We can close the chest up now. And plug the Chimera Stone into his chest. And there we have Micronus in his armor. Let me zoom in so you can see some of the detailing a bit. Zoom back out. So zoom out. Okay, cool. So the Apex Armor also does have some articulation. We'll just go over that now. His head is on a ball joint, so you can kind of rotate it. It's kind of hard to grab, though, due to the shape. There's a little bit of tilt, a little bit of up, a little bit of down. Arms, they can rotate all the way around, but the back kibble gets in the way a little bit. They can go out all the way. There's a bicep rotation, 90 degrees at bend at the elbow, wrist rotation, no waist. Legs can kick forward, they can kick back. Thigh rotation. This leg, you have to flip this little peg out, but both legs have full bend at the knee and some nice movement. And ankle tilt. So, very posable little guy. He does not have heels, though. That is a bit of an issue. Transformations! Now, getting into Micronus' transformation, the little guy can transform. So he transforms into a mini-con disc. So to do that, you're going to rotate his head all the way around. You're going to rotate his arms up. You're going to rotate at the thighs. Then you're going to shift the arm down and into place. And then curl at the knee. So you're going to shift the arm down and curl at the knee. And there you've got a little mini-con disc. I wish this lined up a little bit better, but otherwise, pretty nice little circle. That's about it. It's a circle. So now getting into the general conversion of the armor, you're going to want Micronus in his robot mode. You're going to grab the armor, and it's a parts former, so we're going to want to remove the arms. Then we're going to want to open the chest. We're going to want to remove the Chimera Stone, and we're going to want to slide the legs out. Now, starting with Micronus here, we can take the Chimera Stone, plug it onto his back, bring his arms forward, and kind of split his legs open, and he's ready now. Now we can take the legs here, and we're going to rotate them so that the pegs are down. Then we're going to thigh rotate them in, and we're going to bring the foot around. We're going to bring the foot around. Then we're going to flip open this peg. We're going to bend the leg at the knee. Flip this peg back in. Bend the leg at the knee. And they'll form this wheel piece. Then we're going to take the main torso piece. We're going to fold the head in. We're going to lift this panel up. We're going to fold these down. Bring them down. Bring the side panels out. Fold up the crotch. Then we can take the wheel. And the wheel can plug onto these turbine pieces to get a rolling wheel. Then we can close up the side panels, bring the arms in, and the arms plug on to be his exhaust pipes. Now he can't stand like this. And then we just get Micronus in here, and his hands grab the handlebars. And there's his unicycle mode, which is hilarious that he turns into a unicycle. The only issue I have with this mode, because it's so goofy, is that it can't stand upright on its own, so you have to bend the exhaust pipes down to get it to sit. Aside from that, this mode's pretty goofy. I like it a lot. Comparisons! Here is Micronus next to Alchemist Prime, Prima Prime, Megatronus Prime. Now Alchemist and Micronus in their alt modes next to each other. Same here with Micronus and Prima Prime. And, of course, here with Megatronus Prime. Conclusion! So, overall, this is another figure I'm kind of iffy on. If you're collecting the Primes, I'd say obviously get this one. But he does seem to have a breakage issue. Mine's fine so far. But that's something to be aware of. But if he's not your cup of tea because he's kind of goofy, don't get him. But he's kind of goofy, and I'm collecting the 13. So he's perfect for me, and I really like this figure. And I'd recommend it, but maybe skip it if it's not your cup of tea. If you watched this whole video, you probably enjoyed the video, so you should show that by liking the video. I don't have comments yet for some reason, but when I do have comments, comment down below. And subscribe for more Transformers reviews. I have a review every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a short every Tuesday and Thursday. So if you're interested, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in my next video.